Hi there, in this very quick video I'm going to show you how to use landing pages within SwiftCloud. We have a powerful landing page editor that's very easy to use. If you can write an email, you can create landing pages, and frankly you could create dozens of them, you could create hundreds of them. They're really as fast as you can come up with headlines. It really is that simple to make the page. So the back end, first I'll give you a kind of a 90-second overview, and then I'll take a deeper dive into some of the specific features of it. So first of all, why to use a landing page? You want to use it to get people to take a specific action and to guide them along a sales path. So landing pages are designed to mimic how we sell in the real world. In the real world, it's really weird if I just talk at you. I'm doing it now, but that's because I'm recording video. And so in the real world, I tell you a little bit about what we're doing or something, and then you tell me something back, and or at the very least you're giving me nonverbal signals of like I'm on the right path or I'm not. So assuming that's the case, then a landing page is often the first step of a sales journey where you start to either then guide them to either what's called a tripwire offer. A tripwire offer is something that's low cost and you just want them to get out their credit card. It's just to demonstrate that they're a buyer. You want something that's $7 or $20 or something like that. It's going to vary by your industry. It could be $1, but it's just to verify that they are actually a buyer. Once they're a buyer, then they've demonstrated some trust. Then you can kind of start to move them down typically your product funnel if you're an information marketer. See that most typically. In the case of recruiting, if you wanted to use a landing page for recruiting, then this could be a little bit about your opportunity. Enter your name and email, for example, to learn more or to schedule my interview, something like that. We have a client who used this basic system to build a 500-person sales army, and they all sell for the company on commission only and work from home. And he basically used this exact same sort of structure where it's got a really short little video, tells you sort of an overview of the opportunity, enter your information to learn more, and then on the next page they get to a longer video. This video would be typically, let's say, 8 minutes, 12 minutes, somewhere in that range, where you kind of really take a little bit deeper dive. And again, this is mimicking how we sell in the real world, right? So like I tell you a little bit of information, you give up a little bit of information. I give you more information, you give up more information. So then on this secondary form, in the case of the recruiting and the sales army client, then on this secondary form, that's where they asked for more information. It's like, okay, you've got a pretty good idea after watching an 8 to 20-minute video of what this opportunity is, what's the work entailed, how much money can you make, all of that kind of thing. And then in that case, he would ask for more information, like what's your work history, upload a resume, have you done this, have you done that, that kind of thing, right? You can ask for 7 to 30 fields of information, and at that point they've learned some information, and of course the people who respond along the way will drop off, right? So let's say you email this out to 1,000 people, and you get, let's say, 20 people that actually make it to the page, and then out of those 20, let's say 10 of them opt in, and then out of those 10, let's say 5 of them actually fill out this secondary form, and then those are of course your 5 hottest leads. So it's just hypothetical numbers, but you get the idea. So back to a landing page, the reason, as a reminder, most people know this, but just in case not, the reason to use a landing page is that you won't bleed off your traffic. There's really only one choice you have on this page, which is to put in your information or to leave the page. There's no way to bleed off traffic, to do what's called bleeding off traffic, where it's like I can't leave and surf around the website and get distracted by a blog or something. So it's very focused. And that in turn means everything's really all about your headlines. Your headlines have to be really strong, and this video has to be pretty strong, and this video will start playing automatically. I don't want to do it now because I'm recording, but when you first land on this page, this video should start playing automatically, and then kind of greet them and hopefully give you kind of reel them in, right? That's the basic idea. So on the back end, things work kind of as you'd expect. They mimic the front end as much as possible because that makes it really intuitive. So if you want to edit this headline, you literally just start typing, and you go down here and hit save, and this page will update. So in this case, I like that headline, so we'll just change that to 284 million, and right, and the subheadline, same sort of thing. If you wanted to change this background color, you could. So right now I kind of like that dark gray, but if I wanted to change it to match my brand, let's say it was dark red, that's fine. I just hit this little green plus. If I want to change the video, just go here, and throughout the application you'll see these little pen icons, and all you got to do is hit any of those to edit that. And so if I wanted to change the background color, then I could, right? Let's change the background of the button. Here's the actual text below. everything works like you'd expect. Now, once you've captured them in this form, you have to define what's next. Where is our system going to dump them, or push them to, something like that. So most typically we send them to another page, right? So in this case, this is for them. This is the user experience, and this mimics all of our e-sign systems, right? After they sign a doc, where are we going to dump them? If they fill out a form, where are we going to dump them? They buy a product, where are we going to dump them? There always has to be a defined flow for the user experience. So most typically you stick them on another, you'll send them over to another URL. If you wanted to, you could, if you're doing this in person, let's say you were doing this at a trade show, you could set this up so it just is going to reset itself. It's going to show a confirmation and then reset itself and clear out the information. That's typically for kiosks and tablets at a trade show, that kind of thing. You could send them to another document. Let's say it could be an NDA. So in the case of, let's say, recruiting, you could even set it up so that on page 2, let's say this is the longer form, then if somebody's serious, it's like, okay, proceed to another document where they have to sign an NDA and they have to pay and whatever. You could send them down whatever channel you want. But anyway, this is how you do that. You also want to trigger typically an email that says, hey, we've got your information. In this case, it says, here's a copy of your signed doc. They didn't sign a doc. In this case, it's just, that's kind of the default pink message because it's the same as e-signature. So we're still refining this. I guess what we should really do is change the default message that loads here if it's a landing page. But you can, of course, edit this information. This is, of course, going to greet them by name. So on the front end, by the way, our system will split out. It says enter your name. If they type in John Doe, it's going to greet them as just John, right? Where it is going to split their first name and last name. This is for you, of course, the blue box that's not visible to them. That's, who do you want to message? Who do you want to get a copy of, who do you want to get the email from, hey, this lead? And over time, we'll have more options like posting to external APIs or triggering SMS text messages because leads age so quickly. You really want to jump on the phone with them as quick as possible in most cases. So this is where you would set all of that automation. This is the actual document. What do you do once it's there? We'll have to remove this again because it's not an e-signature. But you get the idea. And here's where you actually create it. So in order to create a new page from scratch, what you'll do is you just go here, go to Add New, go to Doc, and you can be in any folder. So in this case, I'll go back to the main root drive. And the drive is, of course, all of your assets that our system has. So we'll have sequences in here soon and that kind of thing. Just go Add New Doc. Once you do, then go down to the far bottom and change this to whatever type of document you want it to be. So in this case, we want it to be a video landing page. The sales upsell page it looks like this, where it's just got there's no form on the right? It's just the video. It's a little bit larger. There's a headline. So this is typically the longer one. And then you're asking for more fields of information, or you're asking them to buy something, right? So it could be that you have a buy now button that appears or is right here, click to purchase, right? Buy your $500 kit. That's really it. That's pretty much it for the landing pages. If you have any questions, by all means, let us know, and we will update this. Generally speaking, this mimics all the other systems on SwiftCloud, which is you have a back end and a front end. And only you can see the back end. You have to be logged in. So if you click preview here, or you click preview here, way down here at the bottom, then it's going to bring you to this front end, and that's the same as this URL right here. So this is what you'd want to send your traffic to. By the way, you can, we do support subdomains and mapping. So if you need to if you want to set up something like learnmore.yourdomain.com, then you certainly could. You could certainly set it up as like a 301 masked redirect if you wanted the easy way. If you want to set up a subdomain map to your entire SwiftCloud system, then you can just reach out to us. But we have to set up some things manually, so you have to reach out to us for that. Thanks so much.